Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. I'm your host, Derek Fage. Well, I said before the break, we talked about health when it comes to your physical health, when it comes to your mental health, when it comes to the things that we're consuming. Well, a new year underway, and again, Canadians have made improving their financial health a priority, some of them making it a New Year's resolution even. However, should you be thinking of it as a resolution? Well, our next guest has that answer. I'm joined by Bolduc. He is the Senior Vice President and a licensed insolvency trustee with BDO Debt Solutions. Andre, welcome to the show. Happy New Year to you. Let's first of all talk about this as a New Year's resolution, Andre. Should people be making something like this, their financial health, a New Year's resolution?
It's good to have a resolution, but as you know, most resolutions fail within the first 6 weeks of people making them. And the reason for that is people don't have a good plan going in. And we know from recent surveys that, again, this year, the number one priority for Canadians is to pay down debts in terms of finances. And we also know from our 2021 BDO Affordability Index that saving for an emergency fund and saving for retirements are a close second and third. So for Canadians that want to be successful in those resolutions, they need to have a proper financial plan in place.
Well, let's have a look at that plan. So, Andre, what should that plan look like? What kind of things should you be doing in order to put together a really proper financial plan?
Well, number one, Derek, is to take stock of your whole financial situation. This means looking at all the assets you have, writing that down, all the debts you have, writing that down. And yes, it means writing down what your budget is. There's tons of tools available online right now that can help you do that. There's a budget planner on our BDO website. And personally, I like to use a cool app called mint.com. Once you've taken stock of your financial situation and you've made that inventory, it's important to work on your budget so that you're living within your means. And that means,
Right.
No more, you can't have more cash going out than what's coming in.
And we
then you
see
got to
that all the time, though, right? I mean, look at I think the latest numbers that I saw are that Canadians are spending $1.77 for every dollar that they bring in. Why do so many Canadians find themselves in that position, Andre?
Well, it's because they're not living within their means, number one. And it's just, you need to have a proper plan and budget in place to avoid falling into those pitfalls. I see these people all the time.
Yeah. And Andre, how detailed should the plan be? Because I think people, when they do their plan, they do a lot of what you just described. But what they fail to include in the plan is that coffee that they go for every morning, or the lunch that, 3 times a week they go for. Should you go into that kind of detail, really break it down to that fine detail?
I mean, I think when you initially make your budget, you need to have broad categories. But what's more important afterwards is to actually track where you're spending and compare it to your budget. And that's how you learn about yourself financially, and that's how you can make informed decisions later. So, if you have a $200 a month coffee habit and you're falling short, well, maybe you need to bring coffee from home, for example, or something like that.
What are some of the biggest challenges when a client comes to see you? What are some of the biggest challenges and biggest obstacles that you have found?
Well, the biggest obstacle is the level of debt that people have. So when I say you got to live within your means, then if you actually want to pay down the debt, you have to live below your means. That's the only way you'll save cash to actually pay down the debt, as opposed to just making minimum payments. And that's a trap that a lot of people fall into.
Yeah. And Andre, when should somebody go and see you? I mean, what are some of those signs that, people should, okay, you know what? I'm in a situation now. I need to turn to a professional.
Well, look, if you're going through this exercise and you're feeling overwhelmed about your debt and you can't get within your means or below your means, then you need to seek help from a professional. There's other red flags like if you're not paying your bills on time, you're skipping payments, calls from collection agencies, they're all red flags.
And as you said too, there are so many resources available out there. Do you need to be careful with what type of resources that you're looking at? Because you can be quite overwhelmed now on the internet trying to find something, right?
My advice would be to consult a licensed insolvency trustee. We're the only federally regulated professionals to help people with debt. We can look at all options. And the best part is that you can talk to a licensed insolvency trustee for free. There's no cost or
Right.
obligation. A lot of things you'll see online, it's important to do your due diligence, but also when you speak to them, if they want large payments or money up front, that's a big red
Yeah.
flag, especially
Yeah.
when you
No
can
kidding.
get, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Andre, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Hey, coming up after the break, we're going to be talking about sleep disorders, how prevalent they are, and when you should seek professional help.